What's up, folks? Steve Harris with Low Class Media. Today, I'm going to be talking about what I believe are two of the best mods that you can do for your Surron X Black Edition from Lunicycle, and that is the tall seat from Lunicycle as well as the tall handlebars. Let's jump into it. Alright, let's kick off here. Okay, so if you're anything like me, when you bought the Surron, you may have found that the chassis feels quite small. And specifically, I would say the distance between where you actually sit on the seat with your butt and the handlebars is pretty close together. So for me, I just felt ergonomically just like very cramped on the bike. Hey, how's it going? I started exploring some options of what I could do to get a little bit more space on the bike. And there was a number of things out there like, taller seat, taller bars. There's the lift kit from Luna. And actually I bought all three because the bike felt pretty small. But once I got them, I put the tall seat on and then I put the tall bars on and I sat on the bike before installing the lift kit because I wasn't sure if I quite needed it. Seemed like it was mostly for people who are, above 6 foot, and I'm kind of like right at 6 foot. So I wasn't convinced I needed it. So I put on the tall bars, put on the tall seat, and after I did that, I noticed the bike felt a hell of a lot better. Didn't have near that kind of cramped feeling that I had before. And so I decided to run it as is. So unfortunately, I'm not reviewing the lift kit for you guys. But for the tall seat and the tall bars, I can definitely say the bike feels a lot better. So what are the tall seat and the tall bars? Well, the tall seat, I think people want it maybe more for comfort, but the foam is quite a bit more firm, more cushy at the same time. And big hill climb here. Like a boss, folks. And the foam is a little bit more firm. It makes you sit up a little higher. And also, with the original seat, I always kind of felt like I was sitting almost on top of the, almost on top of the battery cover. Like real down, like I was constantly sliding down towards the battery cover. So I didn't like that. But with the new seat, it has a little bit of a lip on the front that keeps you from sliding down. And so I really, really like that aspect. Also, it definitely sits you up, at least an inch or two higher. Maybe not quite 2 inches, but definitely enough to where it's noticeable. So that's the seat, but when you combine that with the tall bars, the bars feel way better than the original set. I enjoyed the original set. They worked well for what I was doing and when I used them. Wow, almost crashed. But over time, like I said, it just felt too cramped. So combining the bars with the seat really made things better. And so what are the bars? I think the bars come from Lunicycle. They're like $35, which, considering the quality, is a steal. I mean, good Lord, these bars are perfectly good. And they were $35. The seat, I think, was like $50 or something like that. And so, man, I mean, like, I'm really, really happy with the value there. But the bars, I think they're about a 2-inch rise. I'm not sure. It's a decent rise, enough to be very noticeable. Let's put it that way. And again, combining all of those together, I just feel so much better. Much more space on the bike. Kids love the Surron. But yeah, combining them together, oh my gosh, you feel like you have so much more space, so much more control and leverage over the bike. You all right, brother? All right, man. Well, take it easy. Thank you. So I don't know if I'm the only one who notices this, but whenever I'm riding on the street specifically, I feel like if I take a fast turn, I feel like if I take a fast turn and that's pretty sharp, it's like way too easy to get too much like on top of the front tire to where the front tire almost feels like it's like folding underneath you a little bit. And I don't really know how to explain that from like a geometry standpoint, but all I can say is that the front end just felt very low. With the tall bars, it kind of gets your overall like sort of weight in your body back a little bit, and I think takes some of the load off the front tire and keeps it from doing that sort of like folding underneath you type feeling, to where I feel like I can, when I'm on the road specifically, I can take turns quite a bit faster and not necessarily sharper, but I'm not so worried about the front end going underneath me as I was before. So really like the bars for that. So that's kind of what the two products are and why I got them. So I guess at this point, you know, do I recommend them or not? And yes, I absolutely do, because it really opens the bike up in ergonomically, you know, especially for riders who might be, you know, in that 6 foot or approaching 6 foot range. I mean, I think you're in the ballpark of needing to change the chassis feel a little bit. I'm not really sure sort of like what height of person this bike is intended for from a stock perspective, but it's not 6 foot. Now, here's another thing I was going to say about the lift kit. Again, I didn't put the lift kit on because I felt that the sort of ergonomic gains that I made with the tall seat and the tall bars were enough to, you know, give me what I was looking for. But, you know, if you're taller, you know, 6'2", 6'3", you know, going up in those ranges, I think the lift kit is definitely something you might want to look into. Just because I think that, you know, it actually extends the seat, raises it a little bit more than I think would give someone in those height ranges, you know, a lot more room. So when you think about the gains that you get from adding these modifications and, you know, sort of all the ergonomic performance aspects, another thing you get is just a way more comfortable bike. It's so much easier to ride for longer periods of time with these mods. With the stock seat, I was really having like butt pain. And, you know, of course, there was the sliding down to the battery cover factor, too. And I just constantly felt like I was having to adjust, you know, and then just obviously getting beat up by the seat itself. Another thing I'll talk about here is the ease of install. Considering the gains that you make for making these modifications in terms of drivability of the bike, the install is a breeze. For the seat, I would definitely watch a YouTube video. I was going to do an install video, but I ended up sort of like doing a bunch of work and then having to redo the work because I didn't know what I was doing. And then, of course, I watched a YouTube video, and then I knew exactly what to do. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend watching a YouTube video when installing the seat. For the bars, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But I will say a pro tip on that, I would definitely loosen everything on the bars. So all of your brakes, your screen, just kind of everything that's attached to the bars, I would loosen everything up so you're not stretching the cables, because I think it's really easy to tug on the sensors that you have in the brakes. I know a lot of people turn those off or remove them or whatever, but I've kept mine on and just sort of programmed them, to be non-functional. But definitely loosen everything on the bars when you go to install them, just because when you're pulling the bars off, it's really easy to tug on the cords and the cables and everything. But once you get them off, I mean, just slip all the controls off, slip the new ones on loose on the new set, throw them on, bolt them down, and then tighten all your controls down. I actually moved my screen. I don't know if you can see it kind of further away from the end just because I feel like it gave me a little bit more room for the install and all that. So, all right, folks, so that's it for the video. Definitely appreciate you guys watching. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Please like this video. Maybe check out some of the other videos that I've done. I really do appreciate the people who subscribe and watch my content. It's really, really awesome to be able to go out here and just make content that I enjoy making and, you know, providing to the Surron community. And I get to see that other people enjoy it as well. So that's really my favorite part about this whole thing, you know, along with obviously riding the bike. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, please do that. And yeah, stay tuned for more of my videos. See you guys.